let's look at some interesting ways that we can quickly analyze what probably the most important thing for companies these days, and that's revenue. So let's open up Think Like a CEO app, and we want to press the revenue button in the upper left. So Juniper Networks is our prospect, and the first thing that we're going to take a look at is their growth in revenue over a 4-year period. So we see that revenue in 2014 was $4.6 billion, and in 2017 it was $5 billion. So the first thing that you want to do when you see this graph is ask yourself the question, is this a good trend or is it a bad trend? Obviously, it looks like it's a good trend. It would be much better than if it were going in the other direction, right? So it is a good trend. They are seeing some growth. The next thing that we want to do is take a look at how Juniper compares to their competition in absolute revenue. So this gives us an idea of scale. So you can see that Juniper Networks is about $5 billion. Cisco Systems is $48 billion. Hewlett-Packard is $52 billion. Ericsson, $23 billion. So this tells us that Juniper is a niche player, that they're smaller overall in the industry versus the competition. The next thing that we want to do is take a look at how everyone has seen their trend in revenue fall over a 3-year period. So we call this the Dark Side of the Moon graph because it kind of looks like the Dark Side of the Moon album. Great album, by the way. So this gives us some insight as far as how the industry is going. So if we take a look at this, we see that the 3 main competitors that we have in Juniper Networks out of the box, you can always add more and Think Like a CEO app, show that they're very slow growth, 1.8%, or negative growth. So this tells us that the industry itself is seeing some downward pressure in revenue. When we take a look at Juniper Networks, they've shown that 8.6% growth, and while it doesn't sound like that's great over a 3-year trend, when you actually look at the overall industry itself,